consent's an interesting word for a start. So what's your understanding of the word consent? What does it mean to you?
Agreement. Making sure that the person is comfortable with whatever.
Right? So the person is comfortable with whatever, and that you are comfortable. Martin, and she's quite interesting because she talks about consent as a four-way aspect. It's not a two. It's not what do you want to do and what do I want to do. It's what am I happy to give and receive, and what are you happy to do and receive. And I think we forget that sometimes. Sometimes we where the person says, I really want to do this, and we get so carried away with what they want to do, we don't ask ourselves if we want to do it, or do I know how to do it? And I remember a couple of years ago, we were doing one of the London fetish weekends, and somebody was standing up and they was introducing. They were saying, "Oh, you're running some workshops as well." And I said, "Yes, yeah, I am. I'm doing one of consent, the other things." And I said, "You won't be popular, really." I was like, "Oh, this is." You won't be offended at all. And actually, they weren't by far. Right? And I was impressed because I think we do have to start. I don't know how reminders of basic anatomy. Like, where do I hit? Where don't I hit? Where can I touch? What matters here? Like, what could cause release damage? We need to look at understanding that what the fuck you do if something's wrong. Because if you have been with anyone and seen for a while, one of the first questions we should ask is, what have you done when something's gone wrong? And if they say nothing's ever gone wrong, they're fucking lying about it. Because something's always gone wrong in the scene, like, especially if you've been doing it for quite a long time. What's your system? What are you going to do? Would you find a solution? Would you find the police or something that really wrong? Would you find an ambulance? And we do stuff. Let's not pretend that, especially if they're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, for example. The deaths that were happening most recently in the last few years have definitely been where we involve things like breath play, strangulation, because it is an edge play. In fact, strangulation and breath play are dangerous and waterfall, but people don't see it that way. You'll die quicker with strangulation than you will with an edge boarding. Actually goes later, or quite immediately. It's much more immediate. You can actually take someone out in well under a second. I've got a really long one breath. So it's the most popular thing, especially with people on TikTok, who are kind of like your 18 to 25-year-olds. If you're not doing breath play, you're why are you? And actually, you've got to ask people about medical stuff. It's single and age. At 59, it's more dangerous for me to engage in breath play than anybody in your 30s. Because of age. So consent's an interesting concept. How do you get consent?
There has to be a common, it has to be correct.
Common understanding. So that's an interesting word. It's a common. Do you know what's about to happen? Do I understand? I'm going to postulate a little bit of a theory though. I don't. Consent doesn't really exist either. Like, what do I mean by that? It's important to negotiate, it's important. However, you cannot truly understand some of the things you'll do one you long term, later, wherever. You can't understand the physical, psychological aspect of, or the impact of that, if that makes sense. I don't know what's going to cause damage, which is when things can cause damage. So I think having a bit of time and reading and having a really good understanding is important, but also we have to look at our risk profile and how we get consent is very important. It's a common understanding. I think that's a really good word. Who has the right to consent on it? Everyone. Does that include the top? Party. I've seen it happen before. I've spoken about this sort of thing as well. You see someone and they want to give up because their arm's hurting, or, I mean, Jesus, when I switched, we've got a real fucking masochist, and you're like, fucking hell, this is really hard work. Where, like, I'm tired, it's exhausting in that way. And then I need to pull out here, I'm done, or I'm too tired. And often it's a mistake, what the fuck are you doing? Saying no. Have to go at, whereas actually they have as much right to say no else does. Everybody has a right to say no. When can you say no or stop? At any time. Who here really believes that though? Because I submitted it. If it's going on and you are halfway through something, for a lot of the bottom of that, a lot of stop. Anyone that wanted to stop in their lives when they're doing something? I definitely have. We don't always necessarily speak that immediately because it might be better to really disappoint that person. You just have to be aware of what that person means and you need to make it fucking clear that that person can withdraw time. The problem with the word consent is it doesn't mean that. Do you know what the legality is around this? Who does or doesn't?
It's missing.
It's missing.
You cannot consent to acts of actual bodily harm.
Yeah, you can't consent to violence against you. Really. So you've got a couple of acts that impact this massively. If you think that you've got someone's consent, what you need to realise is legally consent does not exist.
That's like consensual.
No, consent is like, so like if I want consent, do you not have to? They don't have to ask me specifically. They can just do it because they've got my consent to do so. This is more legal. So we've got.
You can't consent to breaking the law, essentially.
Correct. Even though you are. And there's a couple of old laws, and what you've got is one that's really hitting. Does anyone hear of the spam case? Anyone know what spam case is? So few people do. So what you've got is a bunch of gay men, heavily, I'm talking nails through the ends of cops and quite serious stuff, planks of wood, and then all of the video. It's a fucking great big cassette.
I remember this case.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Very.
it was a long time ago. Like,
90s.
I don't know how long.
90s.
What happened is when the police eventually got hold of this video, which of course they did, is they thought it was a snuff movie basically. Money into having a look at these people that were involved in this video. The video couldn't be watched in the case. Means facts. But because you can't consent to violence against you, what it did is it just ended up prosecuting everybody. That's the easiest way. And they were all guilty. That's which you are connected to still massively. And you've got people fighting for our rights because if you cannot consent to violence against you, what is violence?
Anything that is trifling or transient.
More than what is striking or transient? Anyone here? Come on, it's a kid, hickey, right? Technically broken the law. Oh. Oops. And the person, but technically, because it's not trifling or transient. Because for some reason, I don't know why, but 15 and 13-year-old kids want those fucking laws for a long time. They're a bit claiming, aren't they? Like, you've got this fucking great big mark you've got to hide from your mum or your dad or anyone else at school. You've got all the really bad makeup on it. Technically, it's more than a trifling mark. You have consented to violence against you, that level of violence, which is more trans. How do you know what's trifling or transient on my skin? That,
It all depends whether somebody makes a complaint to the police. That's
you know, this is the other problem. It doesn't. This is a bigger problem. I'd love to say, look, I'm going to get prosecuted. No, I don't, but I don't. I think it's just polite to just fucking know. It's even lower if you're married, by the way, than an accepted couple. However, ask somebody who had all their stuff and everything looked through, and it was pretty bad, and they lost it for a year, and your photos, and over to the USA, and you've got some of those photos, and customers next are, fuck me, I'm not going to mess with those officers, I tell you. They're allowed to come into your home, they're allowed to do whatever they want, they have more rights than anybody else to look through your shit. And it's funny how you don't want dramatically on my point is you can't this stuff. It doesn't mean somebody. If they see something and they decide that it's bad enough, they can prosecute the CPS in the UK. They can do it without the consent of the victim, which is also the same in Spanish. Again, do I think that's going to happen? Unlikely. But if you want to like if you want to live with that much hassle and that much heat on you for a year to 18 months while they invest out there, the choice is that. Well,
Just to interject, having experienced the loss of my IT equipment myself,
yeah. Back for 18, was it 18?
that three on the critical stuff, but they lost it.
They lost stuff.
So, as a result of that, we realised that this is a very unpleasant area to be in. Put yourself in that, hand your phones or computers to the police, get in touch with us with phones and laptops and tablets, etc., to get people reconnected. Because when they knock on the door, it was 7:30 on Thursday morning, human trafficking, sexual exploitation, pretty heavy. But by about 3 o'clock that afternoon, I knew who was accusing me, and it was actually a good friend of mine and a previous storeholder of that. So it was a very ugly situation, but...
And you don't necessarily need somebody as well. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily take somebody else. That's one of the problems that we have.
Receiving calls, and that's moving all the time in the next couple of years.
Right, and it is moving all the time. What we can watch are changing dramatically. I mean, there was a point where talking all sorts of things. The first person who's prosecuted, I feel like COVID was a blip, like a Marvel blip. I don't think it happened. So I sometimes get everybody's confused, and I think, oh, it needs to have 2 years on. I think it really happened. So my yeah, it was right. He was arrested, and it was quite unique. Do you know what I'm talking about? You may or may not know. He was arrested for having child pornography. He had a drawing. It was a hentai drawing. The sort of drawing that it was depicted a black chair. He was the first person prosecuted for having a drawing that was child pornography. A year after, 2 14-year-olds, almost 14 months 15, had images of each other. And their parents found out they were technically put offenders registered at the first in the next 10 years of their lives, so 24, 25. You try to get a job with that sort of shit. Now, the youth is not different when it comes to the sex offenders registered. There's some more complications around that. This is the first time. So, fucking know who you're with and know what consent is. Is it better to get written consent? Yes, it is. Indeed. But I had a client years phoned me with help, what you know, he basically met this person. For a few weeks, she said, I want you to cane me till I bleed. And when I'm bleeding, I want you to fuck me from behind. I want to heart come inside me, pull out, come over the blood as well, and mix it all together. She wasn't there the next morning when he woke up, but the police were looking for her. And she accused him of rape, of grievous and actual bodily harm. You can go for all sorts of assaults. Congratulations, it's really interesting, and actually the police were very good. These are the texts, this is what we did, and they said, okay, fine. But then we don't know where coercion is. steps. You know what step is? When the condom is removed, it's sex, and it's now technically it's a crime. It's a rape crime. But she had said very clearly in a statement beforehand, whatever we want, safe sex is the most important thing to me. During they had, she cried out, I don't give a fuck, do what we want to do. Because she said that, she admitted that she said that, considered it. So consent's an interesting thing. We need to be really clear about what we say and how we say it. And when everything about it. So for me, she really writes that piece of writing. No matter what I say during our sexual activity, in a heightened state of passion, I may say things that override not to take them. This is my fundamental basic thing. This is the only thing I consent to. Of course, though, prosecute. I'll come back.
What did you call it again? The sex without.
So selfie is where you promise a condom and you're wearing a condom, it's slipped off in the middle, regardless of your gender, it's slipped off in the middle, and then you are that is more protected.
It used to happen a lot of workers, which why a lot because
Yeah, it happened to my partner.
Yeah.
He took it without consent.
It's illegal, it's right. Which is big. People don't realise.
Yeah.
And it is very changing, you know, at the moment around where you send someone. I mean, the average 15-year-old has seen up to 50 days in their DMs that they haven't consented to, and that's also
On the subject of people setting boundaries, to change them during play. A couple of years ago, I had someone who was very clear. You can do your boundaries, but you're not to fuck me, your cock's not to go into me in any way, shape, or form. The first time we called the begging on spot.
fuck me.
The second time we played with them live, because it didn't. So even at that stage of like getting into playing fun, that's when the begging started. And I knew if I did anything, the ball within the day or two.
Well, chemicals are interesting. To be honest, when you're in a heightened state of arousal, your brain doesn't work. When we say we think differently, clocks and cunts and brains, that's an actual truth. The amount of chemicals that floods our brain in that moment, we go, yeah, I'm up for that, I'll do that, that sounds like fun. That's why we should never negotiate this. I do mean never. That's a black. It's not. Yes, heroin is a lot of fun. There is always, that's much more consensual, it's much better when we're very clear with those chemicals and having much better conversation. When we're talking about consent, how do you, what are you looking for? How do you say to somebody, or what do you say to somebody to ask them about what they'd like to do with you? Is that sort of conversation you have? How would that work?
That's it, because we.
I always like to send something in writing.
Okay, so you like to send something in writing?
I consider it a partner. Learning how and like the main thing is like how very clear.
Right. So in a hard bit, what's the difference? It's an so a hard bit is just I'm never going to do this, or I've done it before, it's not on the table, not doing it with you, or whatever it is. A soft limit is or it's something I've tried with somebody else that didn't go well, or it's not something I've done yet, I'm really sure about it. Try it in a more clinical way, maybe, or can you have a look at that and say, okay, and time. And as you said, it depends on people. How we even start that conversation is quite tough. There are forms out there that you can get to say, have you ever done this before? It's a fucking great big list. There's something you need to. Or what experience it is, do you want to do it again, or don't you? And then let's see. They also need to be visiting every couple of months. We need conversations around it. So we can certainly send people lists. Mr. O, I don't know if you've ever, a great guy called Mr. O, and I've written a whole extensive piece on consent, I've also got pieces on negotiation. And I gave his to mine because he's got some really good. Either an opt-in or an opt-out. Do you know what I mean by that? If we mean opt-in, it means that everything is off the table and only things we mention are going to come in. That's quite complex, actually. But it's actually probably for communication. Or we've got one opt-out, which says, I want to do everything except these things. And here's my list of things that I don't want to do. But that also relies on somebody remembering and getting right as well.
In quotes.
You can't know everything. I always want to know, and especially in this, and you also need to keep up to date. Because laws change, things change, and society and culture change. When I started on the scene, consent didn't really exist. I mean, it really didn't. I was 7 years old, and get into a club, to get to a party, you that guy, or get hit by that guy, or one of your kids, or whatever. You made complaints about everything you weren't part of the scene. This sort of shit didn't exist. There was nothing like this. There was no it was only like the back of like some little black and white contact to get to know people. If it was always it's a very different time.
Yep.
Clubs and around, they're starting in the next few years, but there were definitely clubs. But if you wanted to go quite close, especially if you were a young female, fuck me, like consent. You wanted to be in the you didn't make a fuss, you got on with it. It's been a huge shift in my 40, 50 years on the scene. Consent has really come in and really been a huge shift, and we need to keep up to date with these things, especially when it comes to the law. And America's even looking at the moment, there's a couple of groups as well, like the NC, people who are really pushing depending on if somebody lies getting consent. It's been a big thing in keep things like that life as well. Anyone here have an age limit? Have an age limit? You have an age limit. So it might be, so I don't want to say I'm not asking you. I don't. I know. So there's an interesting thing. People will say, well, I'm in my 30s, but my gap is maybe 40 or something. And this person says, no, I'm in my 30s, but they're gaining their consent by more consent. How do we prove those things? Big thing recently, with a particular deal, some different things about is having multiple relationships with multiple people. It's on the scene again now, it's up and running again, got partners, and no one's done it. But there's a whole group of women who feel very up because of the lies and the different things that happened that who we live with, what his age was, and everything else like that. And then his partners introduce him to other that carried on and on, especially Steve again. Isn't it? Like how we develop. If your whole country is taking over your brain, you don't want to be very attracted to someone or just want to get with them or you want to do this thing. They promise you or something that you've never done before. I mean, that was your problem. A thing that never been done before. Usual things. Or if we've got knowledge of certain things, that can feel really attractive. I have many arguments, and this is about age as well. I see a lot of younger, especially writing on that, that's why I love an older man, because they've got more experience. In what? In what? In shit sex?
In surviving to that age, that's about it. Yeah.
But I find you assume that with age comes knowledge. We have this whole thing on the scene. You can't call someone under the age of 25 or 26 a master. You can call someone who's 40 a master. He's been doing it for fucking 2 years, and this guy's been. Sorry, I'd rather call him a master then. I don't care if he's got 60 years maybe or something. I don't know. It's really interesting we conflate that and we put those two together. So we need to ask people about what they mean by their experience, what experience have they had, and what they do. you ask are unusual when you are trying to gain consent or negotiate a suit? Do you ask out there questions? Do you ask something different, or do you just ask in a negotiation basis? Because for me, the big one is what do you do?
What can we do? What can we definitely not do?
What about? What do I these questions, and actually, what I'm not hearing you say is, what do I want to do as well? Which goes back to that Betty Martin, and this is what I want to do. You sort of said, what can we do? What do you? What's not happening? I make sure you're in there. So I'm sure you do. I really hope you do. But I really hope you're in there as well. You matter. Because again, we have a sometimes that you ask. I like the fries comes to consent. I don't know if you've ever seen the fries method or the fries abbreviation. Have you seen fries? So it looks like this. People got slightly prepared to download the picture, which is fucking saying everything you've done. I'll just talk about it on my house. So it's actual, right? And it says consent. So anyone have seen that one before? Can you see it? As it's
Let me see if I can find the big version of that.
Yeah, it should be in somewhere. So what the fries of consent, yeah. So what the fries for is freely given. What does freely given consent?
Without coercion.
And not intoxicated.
Not intoxicated. So without coercion, without pressure, and not intoxicated. And these are all illegal substances.
Either
Anything that
in-
can compromise your reasoning.
Now,
the horniness.
yeah, and including drugs that you can take over the counter and drugs that you are prescribed. So, yeah, that some of the drugs that we take, so like, for example, who knew, you may not know, so if you take a regular hay fever drug, a woman, it impacts how dry you are. Like something. Did you know that? It can do. So if you have a hay fever drug, it can actually make you dry. And some, the amount of men I've had on a phone call, they turn around and say something along the lines of, "Are you wet? Are you going to me?" Do you know what wet is actually a fit? Also when they're about to be wet. Because that's what protects them from the penetration. It's a biological form of protection. They can also orgasm when they're ready, because it's a physiological response. Just because you're orgasming, same for men, orgasm can be a fear response. Just because you're having an orgasm or you're wet or you're hard doesn't mean you're having. So let's not go for physical indicators, let's ask for freely given. Given is also around drugs, around everything else as well, but it's also around how stressed are you today? If you had a bad day at work, are you okay? Are you up for this? Can we just ask that? And that's quite a difficult one because you've only met that person once, or it's that moment, you've only met them at that time, and you've only got this one opportunity, you kind of don't want to fuck it up sometimes. But if they're really stressed or they're not okay, when we say freely given, we say coercion will come from. Come back. What's
Like it can come from outside sources as well. Like it could be the case that you could
yeah. So you're on a clock here and you see everyone else taking a pizza and you think, fuck that level.
all the team might think everyone else is doing this, so therefore why am I doing it? Everyone's going to think
Yeah,
I'm bored.
Sorry?
You call it peer pressure.
So it comes from yourself, it's not that.
Peer pressure is coercion, but also, and I promise I'll come back to you, is internal coercion. Use words like if you were a good girl, if you were a good son, if you were a good dog, if you loved me. Come on, who's had that? If you loved me, you would do that. The worst coercion is on ourselves. Ourselves and ourselves. Fuck, I really want to be a good girl today, I really want to get this right, so I'll just do it even though I don't really want to. And if we are there, who's heard of the basics when we have like fear responses? Who's heard of fight, flight, freeze? That friend, fuck.
So Nick's been in your workshops for 2 years, so yeah.
And let's just work those out. Not promoting. Really dangerous. Fawn and fuck. Because if the responses that you've been taught are conditioned, or it's a physiological response, the safest way for me to get I just do it, then your body will be running a physical approach of saying yes. Falling is also exceptionally dangerous. Yeah, I'll do whatever you want to do this. Syndrome does not exist. Syndrome. And there's lots of writers about it. It's not an actual, it's not something we can diagnose somebody with, but when we're in life-threatening situations, if we're falling or falling, we're not going to leave the house, we're not going to do stuff. So you've got fight, flight, freeze, you've got friends, bark, flog, phone, fawn. And there are probably another couple of deaths that they put in there as well. They're forever growing and changing. So you've got to think before you leave it. Everything is shit. You can talk too much and you can do too much, and there's a point of you to need to, let's say, right, I'm ready. What word do you want to say as well?
I believe you touched on it earlier, but reflecting on that's the one we respond to when we're asked. How do you negotiate a situation when someone says, I want to pray, but I need more inebriated?
More what, sorry?
I'm drunk.
Okay, yeah, one of my big fantasies that I haven't done yet, and believe me, there are I've probably done everything I wanted to do. It's really boring to do because I'm not going to get first. I'm not getting to my last, it's really my first. One of my big fantasies is to be drugged, severely drugged, so I'm out there, like really good for a hit or something. To have terrible things happen to me, to have it filmed and to have it played back. The reason I don't want to do it, I won't do it, is not because I don't think that's fucking hot and really unusual. The reason I don't want to do is I don't know the impact of that drug on me afterwards, for the flashbacks and everything else as well, and what else it could wake up. Plus, you've really got to fucking trust someone. What did they know? What did they really do to you? What really happened? Especially when you look at the moment.
Mm.
The amount of time teams do. Yeah. There's so many now. I don't know. She's fucking unconscious now. She can't consent. I'm sorry, but if you're unconscious, you can't consent. If you watch the cup of tea video, you don't give someone a cup of tea when they're unconscious. You don't give a cup of tea because you expect them to have a cup of tea last week. You don't say, oh, you did have one last week because you did have one last week. Have a watch the cup of tea video. It's essentially English and funny. It's fun and it's cute, but it does quite like very forward. If and they truly have thought about it when they're inebriated and not have a conversation. If they want to influence back on me, I'm not willing to take that risk because if something goes slightly wrong and they say yes in the moment or something happens, what about the consequences? Especially if you can't consent to what the violence against you, I'm going to think really hard about the if things go wrong. And when you're drunk, look, my daughter came home drunk the other day on Boxing Day. I said it in the open. My other daughter just bought like a £68,000 fucking car, right? She does well. Brand new car, it's 2 days old. My youngest daughter gets out of her car, slams the fucking door. As she slams the door, her brand new fucking phone, she's only 5 months old, is near enough chopped in half the other daughter's car. The daughter drives this one, whether she likes it or not, she was just here today. I'm not fucking having a conversation. You were drunk. Not offended when I used the word drunk and I said, okay, then. We won't talk about drunk, let's just talk about the fact that you are emotionally inarticulate and incapable of managing a situation under the influence of alcohol. Fucking loads of it. And if, I've got daughter just today, she's fine. When we're under the influence of alcohol, we change. Not the same as we were. And the way I like to describe it is like you've got a sugar cage around your brain. You're not free of your inhibitions when you're drunk. You lose your protection. That's what you've got to think about. So it's all about your risk factor. That's what I would do. I know some people who would do that and some people who wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. Would you do that? Do a scene underneath it's heavily the other person on the trip? I have so many fucking conversations around it, I'll tell you.
My principle on this remains the same. Master one skill at a time. You're a master at getting inebriated, then
You're always in charge of yourself and you're always okay. And
Then you're not inebriated by definition.
and that's where I think consent goes wrong.
Yeah. Blood test, but you're not inebriated.
Exactly.
And for me, it is like driving a car. It is that principle of the problem is you are open and it does impair your back. It does have an impact. So for me, if I think I'm the top and I was about to do that, my answer, because I don't know how you're going to treat when you do that. No matter how many times I watch you drunk, I'm happy drunk until that point, just fucking miserable drunk after that. And then something goes like, remember, if we don't know somebody's past trauma, or we don't know, the trauma is held in the body. If you look at all the trauma specialists that are around, when you look at Bessel van der Kolk, Rothschild, God, there are loads more. There's so many books. Like the body keeps score, the body remembers. A lot of people come into Kink because they want to replay some form of trauma to gain some power. Fucking bad idea. Really bad idea. I've watched people do it for years, time it doesn't fucking inebriated or under the influence of some form of alcohol, and that trauma in any way slightly triggered because something isn't quite right, then you are the cause of that trauma in that moment, and that's a no-go for me. Absolutely not. And
Nuclear explosion.
it's and an implosion potentially, like it's really dangerous. I come into a workshop online quite a few years ago and said, if you're going to give me that fucking bollocks about I shouldn't be, well, I might do. And then, like, what's the problem? And they said, well, I'm a submissive male, and when I go sub drop with time, when I come out, I have a tendency to punch the dominant. And I said, what are you tied up? Why don't I let them tie you up? I don't want to fucking tie your hands, I don't want to punch you. Yes, you're fucking responsible for that. I'm telling you to get out until you sort that fucking shit out. You understand what's happening to you and your body, so why you want to punch every time. It's not consented to, unless you've got a switch for you, and they'd be great to switch at that point. That's up to them. It's non-consensual. You don't know. You don't know your partners. If they're under the influence of any form of drug or alcohol, you're going to know even less. I know drugs as well. Different. So I take ADHD meds. I didn't. I haven't. I was diagnosed especially for a woman. It's unusual. So I have autism and ADHD. I went on drugs when I, at the same time as just hitting the menopause. And I have my cancer eating. So if I have got estrogen in my body, my cancer is likely to come back. If there's a number of very likely to be sugar for my cancer. So I have no estrogen in my body at the moment. I have it for 5 years, next to none. I take estrogen inhibitors and I've still got another 2 years. Estrogen disappeared. A lot of research into the connection between estrogen and the impact is, and actually that's coming to light. So I decided to go on medication, and as soon as it starts to come back, I'm going to stop taking the drugs. And I take half dose. I don't feel it massively, but at times it can do. So if I'm in an okay place because of that drug and that drug wears off, or I've got to be aware of myself as far as consent is concerned. So it's even over the counter medication as well. It's not just actually made all drugs illegal, and including alcohol. Alcohol is still the worst drug probably than any other drug that's out there. If you look at the impact of speed and how it works, alcohol is one of the worst drugs you can take, socially acceptable. So this is
And taxable.
R in fries is for reversible. And again, we sort of cover that. Reversible means at any time. I'm really sorry, I repeat it, there's no blue rules. You might get discomfort, you might be a little bit funny about it. There's a little bit of blue from blood reasons at different times, because you might feel like it. The person's responsibility to fucking get off to sort of useful. Sorry, but go and find a pillow or whatever it is, an apple pie. Go ahead, right? Use the person's responsibility to person at that time can say, let's be serious. I like consensual non-consent, right? I like that level of power exchange. It's definitely one of my things. However, if I'm in a really bad place, I'm not very well, like during chemo, I had a lot going on during my chemo. I'm not going to say yes at that moment. And also, I'm not going to say yes for different reasons. Like, let's say my partner wants to do some piss. I just come home from the chemo. We're not going to do piss play, because guess what I'm pissing for? It's fucking radioactive. You don't know there's somebody who wants to piss play. It is 48 hours after their play. Did you know that? Fucking know your stuff, that's the point. 48 hours afterwards, they tend to flush the toilet at least twice. Well, we don't know this stuff, do we? Standard, that's my point. So, even though I've got consensual non-consent, there's still a point where for some reason, and how well people really show themselves, the reverse of it at any time is really important. Any time during any form of activity that we're doing, any time just have.
But high speed, isn't it?
Yeah, so, right, so, but also I think scoring is important. I'm a big advocate for something. Kind of score, you're not their performance, right? I'm not talking about.
I'm a solid 3.
Don't do that. It's important to stop it. However, I would say to somebody who's not used to me, let me give you a score as we go. And so, no, that was a 2, because then I think it was a 9. I actually love that. It depends how much pain you're wanting to take. It's a really good system of learning for pains, different moves, periods that come into it. You've got stress that comes into all of this stuff. Stress is a massive thing that impacts and troubles and people seeing me around on the video, so different people help change it. Theirs is there too, or vice versa. You can probably do that, but not a lot. Not a lot if the person is stressed. That comes into consent as well. I had a really fucking stressful day. I remember doing this workshop once in this very small dominatrix lady. She was very small, very round, and she had this massive submissive who was about 6'10" or whatever. It was like a bean pod. It was so different. And I was doing this workshop, and I said, and actually for me as well, we've also got to watch how stressed we are on our tempers. In a way, if my parents had a really stressful day, I come home and they can vent their stress on me if we have stress. But if my hit me out, I have a problem with that. There's a difference. She said, well, he's the person I'm taking my frustration out all the time. You should fucking get out of the way. That's not healthy or safe. Because acting in that way means that no one can have any form of reversal, and it's not freely given consent. It becomes coercion. I need to do this, you need to take it, it's for me, if you love me, if you whatever, that's what we do. Boundaries.
On the flip side of that, what is that holds me back? I'm nearly, and a novice. What holds me back is, as you say, consent should be reversal, and I absolutely accept that. But as part of that discovery of person, if that reversibility becomes habit, does that then become an element of maybe this isn't the right thing to do, this isn't the right person?
If somebody is forever reversing consent, you're either going too hard and too strong, or they're not really into one or the other. It's where they're not doing it. You will meet occasionally somebody who's at the bottom who wants to play with power. I'm not saying all the time. I've definitely stopped a scene before when it's been gone regularly. If I'm doing it regularly, there's something wrong with me, or there's something wrong with the relationship, or there's something wrong with them. Either that they have understood too much or hurts in the wrong way, or I'm just being manipulative cunt, basically. And some bottoms are like very rare. I understand your fear. I just think it's really rare. It's a bit like stranger danger. We teach everyone about like that, but really we should be teaching about nature in a different way.
Yeah, it's just I pair that up with the fact that someone should not be quote unquote punished for reversing
Maybe not.
they're set, but at the same time, it's got to influence your understanding of that person.
If somebody's continuously reversing consent, first you've got to think why. What's going on in this relationship with that person doing that, or that I'm not getting it? And then you're like, is this the sort of relationship I want to be in? I wouldn't punish anyone for reversing consent. Controlling certainly. If someone's continuously doing it, there's something going on in the relationship, and there has to be. That person's continuously, I'm a submissive, I want to enjoy what we, you were going to say something as well.
Yeah, just that, like, I think with the numbers, like sometimes, you know, for some people go non-verbal and so having that one is like the number system you're talking about, I think is really important for a dom to be in and to know in advance what checking within seeing, so that you don't reach the point where someone has to stop. Yeah. So with the it's better maybe to be able to like draw it back a bit, so like down a couple of numbers, then it needs to reach the point where it's like, yeah, that was absolutely an 11.
And that is it. To take someone down and up and take them on
Yes.
a journey is only a good thing often, unless you're just out for a complete punishment session, which is totally different. And it might be that you're administering a punishment that's also negotiable, so that shouldn't really hurt. Emotionally hurt, what should it be? What does it look like? Also, you've got a very power dynamic exchange-based relationship, but basically what we're all looking for is quite fun, aren't we? Really, maybe. So supposed to be enjoyable. Slavery does not exist. Like it does, because there are, I mean, consensually, like we work that way. There are very few people who give away or give the top all their rights around their money, around their life, around their more houses, around. It doesn't really exist, and we're fucking rare. It's soon. We're all after enjoying ourselves and having a relationship which works for both sets of people. If you're somebody who just takes it because you think you should, there's a point where you're just going to be like, that didn't sound good. Whereas if you're a top, again, if you're always going to want to do, maybe you need to find different who wants what you want as well. I understand your bit, but if you never then do it, it's forever. I haven't heard too much of that one doing this for a long time. I've honestly not an excessive amount of people who do that. So I would still say it's about meeting the right people and taking the risk and how you can communicate through the journey. And what you said is also really right. So it's about in that moment not trying to destroy the fun that you're having as well, or the dynamic that you're in. And, oh, you're right, does that hurt too much? Is that, okay, now I'm in a different headspace, and I'm just being jolted out somewhere. Whereas if you've got something that's more creative about, and then stop what you're doing. It's not a decision. Just remember that. That's a play. That's a play on character, a play on dynamic. And she smiled straight away. There's a difference in that between a, oh, I heard it too much. It's like, oh, no, we're fine, but then my head's gone. Whereas, if I heard it too much, of course I do, I care about it. I've heard, and you stop. People will say, and you've got, on some level, we've got that fight, freeze, friend, fight, form. We need to get to know the person. There are so many things that we can see in them. You've got that gamma skin responses, you've got the way people breathe, you've got the way when people become non-verbal. You need to discuss these sort of things beforehand. How likely are you to go into that place? I remember being at a private party once, and she goes, like she's just out. She's gone completely. He started doing some like that's within her okay for 7 minutes. Fucking good to have friends sometimes as well. And yeah, creative control. I went straight over and I said, what did you do? And he said, I'm sorry. Who the fuck are you? Somebody cares about her. What are you doing? She can't hear. Say her name and trying to wake up. She's gone. I said, I know that's not within her limits. So what she doing? Yeah, she's finally negotiated. No, she didn't. I know she's not. Because I know her and I know her. And when she came round, that's not what I said at all. Really take advantage from the top perspective. We need to be able to help ourselves in that scenario and not disappear that much or not take someone there at first. The only way you get experience is by doing it. It's by starting to play with it, by speaking to somebody who knows and having those experiences. Because we do it. But we don't, we're so scared. And I think especially really, really gender. I think a lot of men who come into it later are so scared that they're going to get it wrong, or so scared that they're going to be seen as a certain stereotype, that they're really fighting what they're doing, whereas they actually just need to have fucking conversations. And talk to each other, and talk to us, and talk to everyone, because that just helps. And then we get more information, which is consent. What does informed mean when you have an informed consent?
Everyone involved should be aware of the consequences of the actions about to be enacted.
Not necessarily the consequences, but certainly the actions that are about to happen. I don't think you know the consequences breaks down, right? So, like, for example, I've liked in my past quite violently, being hit quite violently, quite aggressively. And especially if I'm punched in from behind, my bursa had both split across over my hip bones. There are these little pockets, you've got them on your arse, you've got them on your hips, you've got them on your elbows. And often, when you can get hip pain or elbow pain on different things, you have a steroid injection. Every so often, I don't need a hip replacement. I have steroid injections in my hips every 6 months or so, because my hips hurt. I did not know in my 20s that it was enough and consistently enough.
I think that's the important, isn't it? It's not actually just one play session.
No, it's not. It's not a couple of play sessions. It's collectively. I've also had to play so heavily with a cane, again and again and again and again and again on her ass. So she's just touched. And she's like, well, what do I do? No doctor can tell me. You have to stop. You put silicone repair tape on places and she had to keep on for months on end. She couldn't be able to cane for over a year. 12 to 18 months it took for a skin to itself. Because it just becomes so fragile with consistency of play. She just goes, fuck, your cheese are being put with that as well. Fucking hell. They're in a panic attack as well, like, and it's like shit. And we need to mention mental health, like, what is your mental health like when we play? How things to go right or wrong? We need to think about these things. And like, I think we don't speak about them enough. When we talk about consent in the EU, we talk about enthusiastic consent. What does
No prevarication, it has to be direct and positive.
yes, thank you. Like, and it's a really good thing to check in, and we can keep pulling out going with that as well. Is that for a good baby? Yes, Dad. Is that okay? Yes, sir. Like, is that good? Yes, mummy. Yes, mistress. Like, we can, and that makes all the difference. And if this is where France needs its law changing. Fuck me. It's not just that woman. If you look at the French, it's absolutely horrific. Fight back, it's considered consent.
What?
Changing within France is fucking unbelievable. So you've got to be careful about where you live as well and where you go. States there as well. Spain as well, yeah. So a couple of, when we take fight schemes from fall into account, unless you're fighting, which by the way you can't control which one you do. It is not a choice. Your cortex and your cortex, you've got your limbic system, that's the shit that kicks in. It's instinctive and responsive. It is not a thought process. There's a brilliant series on it a while ago called Apple Yard. There's a couple of these, and it was about a pregnant woman, and this really arrogant Pharisee sitting in her kitchen, sort of like, his legs crossed right in front of him, and he's giving it all of that, and he's doing some and said, how can you say you? And he was really happy about it, and this guy just took out this fucking great big knife, and he just leant over and held it to the not even in front of us. It's a program, right? I just spoke. She likes pointing out, she spoke about what happens when you have it, reflex, because a lot of people do. So, the problem is in some countries, if you don't have got marks, it's considered consent. And that's one of the other problems that quite fast that case is going on at the moment. Which impacts us in the 1800s when it comes to being for our consent. Mainly, like,
It's 1872, the violence against Parish women.
I mean, did you know where the word dandy originated from? in workshops you might see, and say, they're the first people to use it. Because we think about culture, we often think about sort of like different cultures in different ways, but do you know what actually came from the first time? As a term of sexual or masculine. Fucking, that's where it was. Your average highway, adamant, highway, if you've seen the salt stand on the river, it's a highway. Originally, crazy, isn't it? All that time ago, so I came in and come into the culture. So enthusiastic consent really is about enthusiasm. Of course, please bear in mind falling. Someone will be feeling as well. Restless and sure. Look for the things that don't type in their body and the way their eye contact and the way they're talking to you at the same time it works. Because if there is a difference, say, I'm feeling a difference, I don't feel comfortable. And then give it 24 hours. It's fucking much better than writing something. That's specific to me.
Be clear about what and how it is,
Yeah.
and all the assumptions.
So like time is a real problem. I think it's like to do a workshop, you type as well, don't you? So I'm going to tie you up means I'm going to tie you up. That's all it fucking. It doesn't mean that I'm going to vibrate in cock or clitoris. It doesn't mean I'm going to penetrate you. It doesn't mean I'm going to. And that's about the opting out. I remember once, a couple of years ago, there's an advert again where this guy wanted a group of men on FetLife and saying, so what I want to do is I want to group with my wife. So all these guys go, oh yeah, I'm up for that, tell us about it. And then I said, look, she's going to have earplugs in. She's not going to know that you're there, but I want to fuck her so she's really not. I think you find that's not consensual.
I think you'll find that's a massive red flag.
I don't think that the French guy thinks that it's so taking so just knock someone out for fucking minutes and she's got something really wrong with her. So specific is exactly what do you prefer, but it's more complex, the whole opting in. Now, I trust myself quite a lot, so I certainly recommend it for people to start. Everything is off the table, so you need to have to what's in. I assume that a lot is going to be there, and I take those risks, okay, for me, depends on your risk profile. When you're in, it's really interesting to start with, well, are we going to be there? And so, one of my pet peeves is, it goes without saying. Nothing fucking goes without saying. You need to fit. Whereas when we're opting, everything is, are you stick with it? You stay, you not. What influences that? What difference is there? How it means? Gone are the days of I am this will happen. And they were there. They didn't mean because I would say sexual just plays every day. Commonplace of all people at all times. Painful for a lot of people to progress to be a dominant, which is fucking ridiculous because if you're submissive. So you be here, if you're a top, if you're dominant, you're dominant. You don't, there isn't a set of things you have to do. You use code or the right sort of colour and heat, tell you what you're into, but maybe it's up with you. I had a big argument with somebody who runs a club recently, and he said red, yellow, and green here for approaching. Because we talk about ST testing, where we call them STIs or STPs. So if you wear a green one, it means you've been tested. If you wear an amber one, you haven't been tested, it means you've got something, therefore. Fuck me, you're only as good as your last fuck. It's crazy. I said, no, I don't get the system at all. I don't get it. It's ridiculous. Why would anyone want to? What we've got is 82% of the population in the UK roughly has something. There's no such thing as sex. It doesn't exist. Around 70 to 82% of people in the UK and America have something like this. So that's herpes simplex 1 or herpes simplex 2. You know, I get cold sores. I get cold sores a lot. And mum kissed me when I was little about to get herpes simplex 1. I've also had a lot of men say to me, this is actually got cold sores because they've been with no doctors, different things, and viral. Yeah, it's not good. However, realise that there can be also like you can be shedding the virus. So the same with warts and other things like your cultural. There's no such thing as sex. It's just rubbing the skin somebody else can do. So, you know, we think we're safe and not, so there's no such. That's why I think we should take this approach to consent as well. Really think about what it means to you and how you approach it, what it means to the person, what you need to give, what you need to take. Taking into account all the things that we discussed, and really this workshop can go on for 2 hours because it's so specific and it's so huge. I would just recommend your conversation with people. Work out what you need to do, the implications you do, and this awareness as well.
Marcus?
Just to say, one of the other reasons for running this workshop is to give you all the opportunity to confront it and take a selfie. It's actually campaigns that other people and requiring of other people, you can only take a selfie if you're in the workshop. So actually, it's an easy way of filtering people out.
It doesn't mean I approve of anyone.
But